of government.
We need
to record these things and have a little blooper thing.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm gonna be, little does everyone know, I'm actually gonna start my singing career here pretty soon. And
I gotta step my game up.
Well, I'm not saying you have to step your game up. I'm just suggesting that I certainly have stepped my game up. And do with that what you will. Let me go ahead and put a new title here.
Smash hits.
If anyone's already watching, we apologize for what happened, but there was an error code, and it turns out Ari broke YouTube. We just don't know how.
Once again.
We're not blaming anyone. We're just saying that there was a person that's responsible for it, and do with that what you will with that information. Feel how you're going to feel about it. I can't stop you. I'm just joking. Ari's an angel, and she's the reason that YouTube's even here.
Yeah, the devil was an angel too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I don't know if that feels like that works not for you.
That's my shadow side. It's okay.
Oh, okay. And we are back, Kim. We are back. We're actually back in black. It's a song.
You guys are well, actually, look at you're wearing black and a little bit of blue on your shirt. Peace dealer.
All the vibes.
Yep. So he has a little bit of me and a little bit of Jax.
Whoa. You hear that?
Are y'all my parents?
Yes. Created you. We got you into creation.
That would be the most surprising. If I was your dad.
Oh, yes.
It would kind of make sense.
You guys have curly hair.
We both have curly hair.
And then me and you, our smile is the same.
Yeah, that is true.
I should have known.
Okay, so we got Kim and Mahala here. So Kim, we started to read you, but apparently the live froze. Let us know if it freezes again, because we don't know how to handle that. We never planned for this to happen. Okay, well, we're just gonna jump back in. Oh, I gotta make a new list. One sec. Okay, everyone, distract them. Maybe tell about yourselves, and this time do an honest accounting, or maybe
actually, I'll just jump right in for Kim, because I'm even more Kimberly, what I was saying for you, I wasn't sure about before, but now I'm super sure of. And I don't know if you have your Neptune in Capricorn. That's the only thing. Like, you may have Neptune in Sagittarius, but
she's 89, right?
Oh, she's 89. She has Neptune in Capricorn then. So your Chiron's on your sun, and because Neptune is squaring your sun, I felt what seemed like a block in your aura, but it wasn't so much an energetic block as much as this square indirectly utilizing like you pressing the reset button on people's characters. So like they may and so because this is it's not directly you, it's just more a consequence of your body language, let's just say. This can cause others to feel like you're belittling them if they're insecure. If they're secure within themselves, they'll see it as like, oh, okay, like she's really keeping me on my shit. But like if they're insecure, they'll probably feel like, oh, like I don't know why she keeps on like belittling and you're not belittling anyone. You're most likely not even going to be conscious, but because Chiron is using your spirit as a vessel or to kind of like trigger the shit out of people, it's kind of like the parts of people's characters that need to be like addressed, you're hitting the reset button. Like, you need to work on this shit. You need to work on this shit. And you may never even tell someone that directly, but like the way you say things, the way you kind of like speak about stuff, Neptune in a strange way is gonna make the person like it's all going to come back to them. If someone has a good character trait, you're going to really reinforce it. Like, this is amazing about you. This is amazing about you. And so because Neptune square your sun, you may not even be aware that this is happening. And I know for a fact, like, you're not intending to belittle anyone, but you're so powerful that the power of your spirit and aura is just going to come off as like intimidating and triggering the shit out of people. And it's a good thing, because it's going to like get people back on there. You're just not going to be impressed with the malarkey, pretty much.
Yeah. No malarkey, no problems. That's a saying that we have over here on the West Coast. And
Yes.
and you'll hear that a lot when you visit sometime. But yeah, what I was saying in the last iteration of the reading was basically a similar thing, but different direction. It was like, I feel this trapped energy in your shoulders. It feels like it's almost directly where it sort of starts to hit like behind your shoulders. And the feeling was that that energy needs to move. And so that can move in a lot of different ways, whether it's like yoga, whether it's stretching, whatever. But moving, that's important because it's sort of like a metaphorical energy trapped there as well. It feels like it's not just confidence that you're increasing in, but it's like this authenticity of character that you are putting forward in a vulnerable way, which is very fearless. And that feels way differently than being willing to say what you believe and then sort of like waiting to see how people will respond to it. But in this particular case, it's like there's like a pride, a healthy pride, and this ability to like step into your true balance of ego and saying like, you know, the self-love and the love for the other person. And so it just feels really powerful. I would say like, you know, let your shoulders release that energy. Let yourself like, you know, in a very physical sense, but also in an emotional sense, kind of like tap into that, figure out what is, you know, how deep that goes, what situations you're starting to feel things in your shoulders, like what people around you make you feel like putting your shoulders forward, or which people make you feel like putting your shoulders back. And so pay close attention to that. And yes, absolutely, Brittany, you are on the list as well. But Kim, yeah, it feels like this is part of your evolution right now. This is like part of the metamorphosis process.
Nice.
Oh, you're feeling it in your shoulders. Yep. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, pay attention to that. To me, that was what I was drawn to immediately. It was like these two dark blue orbs, like right at the back of the shoulders, like right where it reaches sort of like the bones.
Okay, let's see, Kimberly. Okay, I heard a word. Let me just look that up because I'm just unsure what that is.
Yeah, Brittany, there was actually a new list that was just posted.
Okay, so I heard dyadic. Okay, so this is in kind of like in social on sociology, it means a group of two people that are intimate, that are just kind of like a friendship or a romance. Okay, it really does depend, family interests, family relation, things like that. So what I'm gathering from this is there is a dynamic between you and someone else that you're close to. It feels like there's a big push and pull type of relationship. It feels like there is definitely conversations that you've had with one another that might have triggered different aspects of shadow selves. A shadow self for you and a shadow self for this person. And it just kind of like butting heads, like a ram butting heads with someone else and things like that. So it feels like you guys are working together as a unit because there is definitely a intimate connection in the way that it's a bloodline. Okay, but if you would have not been somehow related to this person in some indirect way or direct way, there's no way you would have been interacting with them. So it's kind of like I feel like there is this this need for you to well, you already know that the way that the relationship is going is for your highest good, but they don't know that for themselves. You know that anything that triggers you from the words that they say or the conversations that come up is based solely for your growth. But for them, they see it in a different way. So it's kind of like they won't see it in I would say they see it more like a superficial way. They won't see it in a deep connection until they realize this on their own. And so it feels like this is what the struggle is with your physical body, is that the whole thing that Jax was seeing is a kind of like an interaction with energy and emotions, and combination of both being manifested into your physical body because of it. This is something that Mike was picking up on, because you are meant to be that person which helps transform someone from the inside out. Okay, whatever interactions you have that it may be difficult or adverse with different personalities, there's a purpose to it. Okay, you already know the purpose, but they don't. So eventually they will learn the purpose on their own, but it just feels like you're definitely a catalyst for transformation and change. Definitely, because you have fire energy, you have that Aries energy, that is transmutative energy. So we as fire signs, being a sun and a fire sign, we are meant to trigger people. I've accepted that.
Yes, that y'all do that. Y'all do that.
Yeah, we are meant to do it. Even if we give compliments, they still get misconstrued. Even if we try our hardest to remedy situations, they still, because of our energy, because of our strength in our resolve, they still get misconstrued as being egotistic, as being overwhelming, as being belittling, as being like kind of like all the bad shit, right? Like all the bad shit about fire signs, right? So that being said, that's why we are here, though. We are transformative energy. We transform through our fire. We transmute lower vibrations. We do all the stuff. That's why, like, when you pick that name for your website, the warrior, it has the warrior in it. It's because you already knew this. You already knew that you stepping into your full potential is going to be like a warrior's path. You know, where you are definitely, it's not like you're going to fight them physically. It's more like the transformation of a warrior when they are very disciplined and very resolute with finding a way to assist people through the myriads of issues that they may have and bringing them to the surface for transmutation and for integration eventually. So it just feels that this is one of your paths, and it's very it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. Like you've seen me with my own struggles in a public way, but it doesn't have to be so public. You know, it could be starting off learning your lessons with these close relatives to you or close relations, and then from there assisting other people in your path to actually go within and seek understanding of why they might see you as a trigger point. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Kimberly.
That is awesome. And next we have Brittany. And with Brittany also has a scan. So Ari, if you'd like to start us off with that.
Brittany, okay. Yes, Divine Warrior Spirit. You guys go check out her stuff. All right, Brittany. All right, let's see. It's a scan. Okay. Yeah, Brittany's a Sagittarius sun too, so she has the same thing.
Oh, nice.
All right. For you, Brittany, what I'm hearing is transformation, blossoming, full potential coming in. Okay, so it's kind of similar to what Kim has to deal with too, with people with different personality types, with trying to explain yourself to others so that they can understand you better. I feel like sometimes you feel hopeless when you do try to communicate because you get shot down. Or people are just so stubborn, they just don't want to listen. And because they're angry or they're hurt. What anger is, it's in truth, in its core, it's pain and suffering, okay? And because they don't want to admit that they're hurt or they're suffering in some way, they mask it with anger, okay? And so with you, it's more like you already know all this. You intuitively know that there's beyond that mask of anger. There's something beyond that. for you in particular, I'm hearing a lot of like the blossoming of your heart is going to start to assist you with getting through to people in a indirect way, instead of, because you're very direct, it's more like going around the issue and going and kind of like moving towards indirect ways to solve issues with people like that. Okay. Another thing is I'm feeling is like in the heart center, as well as communication from the heart chakra to the lower chakras is important for you. Okay. So it's kind of like the flow of your energy needs to be cleared in the lower chakras, and particularly the sacral area, women stuff, right? So, because I don't want to elaborate on that, but this is where we hold our relationships with other people, usually with sexual partners, as well as with intimate relationships. It doesn't have to be sexual. It could be best friends. It could be family members, things like that. So when we solve or when we resolve to clear our energy down there, we have to resolve to clear it in the physical as well. And so again, finding an indirect approach to assist you with that. Okay. It's really important. Your fire is definitely a deep fire. It's definitely very all-consuming. I always see this phoenix when I see your energy, and so it's really intense. And so with people like this, it is really important for you. It's not to minimize your power. It's to indirectly persuade through a different means of I wouldn't use attack, but they're telling me attack. Attack for transformation, though, for the purpose of transformation. So that's what I'm getting for you, Brittany. So that's all I have.
That's wild, especially that you ended that off with transformation, because literally, I mean, if you think of Scorpio being represented as the eagle, like I saw your solar plexus was what I was drawn to. It was as if I saw you in sort of like dark light, and then there was just this glowing yellow energy from your solar plexus. And within it was almost like when you see something through a tent where there's like a light on, and so you see like the silhouette, and it was like I saw the silhouette of this eagle, and it was trying to expand, because the solar plexus has a connection to our decisiveness and our decision making and our confidence in them, the way that we act and behave. So it's so much more than just speaking. It's also about the power of being certain of something that you don't have certainty of. And the thing is, if you're waiting for your mind to get all the information so that you can feel certain, you'll always feel like you're uncertain. There's this time at which you have to take basically a risk on your own confidence, or take a risk that comes from your intuition. Because when your third eye and your solar plexus work together, when you have the intuition and you have the consciousness and the decisiveness working together, it's like perfect and synergistic. So for your transformation right now, it's literally just doing what it is you know is right, and to not question it, to not like do something with half your energy and feel like, but maybe I should draw back, or maybe I should do it in such a way where I could draw back or take it back. Do things that you can't take back. Make decisions that you can't undo, because there's a level of pride that comes with that permanence. And it's like, it's like they work together. Like let those energies work together. Your intuition will lead you to the right place. It will help you make those leaps of faith. There will be tons of failures that do happen, but they will drive you towards the success. They will make it so you're actually capable of stepping into the success that you want. And it's like, you'll just have to, ironically, you'll just have to be more imperfect in a way. You'll have to make more mistakes through this confidence. But by doing that, you will just shatter through this wall that feels like it's impenetrable right now. So that's what I was picking up.
I picked up that you have an aspect of yourself, or let me kind of rephrase that. I picked up that your energy is so immense, extra portion of your energy that's too much to like be a part of your vibration exists as like a whole etheric energy body that isn't chained by your body and gives you bilocation. And I think because of your adventurous spirit, it's rarely by you. Like it's exploring the world. It exists as your imagination, and like you're literally always in multiple places at once. And I see it more as like when you summon it, like a divine white light or a divine light that shows people the ultimate like reality of them. I really believe that they will most likely never know it comes from you. It's really just a flash of insight that may indirectly or passively be triggered, especially when maybe when someone meets you or whenever you have like a meaningful moment with someone that opens your heart and then this light comes through there. Okay, but so there's that. But then what I picked up about that is that I think because so it's not really a consequence of you, but like if someone isn't pure of heart, like if someone hasn't balanced or grounded, they're gonna see this and they're not going to be grounded in how they see. So they'll probably see like a freak accident or they'll see it in a way that's too much for them. It's like you're, and I don't want to call it your higher self, because this being isn't your higher self as much as it's you, but it's just the excess of your energy. But it's like if their energy is like pure, they're gonna get a flash insight of like a major event, but they'll be able to have the groundedness to like take the good with the bad. But if not, you can induce anxiety in a lot of people, and it's not really you though, it's just how they are reacting to your energy, and it's so fast. Like some people, I think it'll be impossible to know that it comes from you, because it's like you're not putting your hands on people. Like they just come to your aura and they come to an idea, and they may not correlate that it's because they were next to you. But yeah, it's very powerful. And I feel like you're now at a place where you can bridge and master that other part of your energy. That's like super amazing.
She's fucking powerful as fuck.
Oh, serious.
Really, she is. Love you, Brittany.
And now we have Mahala. Are you still here? And we have Zach and Leah. And let me take a look. So for Mahala, we've got energy scan. Awesome. Okay. Well, Mahala, let's go ahead and get started with you and see what's going on here today.
Nice.
So Mahala, it's almost like looking at your energy was like looking at trillions of ripples through a pond. Like there was like almost this endless stream of droplets that just hit through this pond. And so you have like a very powerful energy as far as the way it affects the world around you, the things that it sets into motion, the chain reactions, basically. It feels like that's one of your strengths, and you do it in a very pure way. And I think it's like, it's very Taoist is kind of the feeling. It's very much like, this sort of the power of water, basically the power of being able to move through the world and give it life, regardless if there's a rock in the way or like a tree in the way. The water always goes around or under or through. It just keeps going. So to me, it feels like your energy, it feels very clear right now, and it also needs to be like nourished. Like this is definitely a really important time to find a way to give yourself some of that ripple, to give yourself some of that energy back to you, to give yourself some of that love, and to find a way to, just remember the lesson of the star card in the tarot, which is, just filling up your own cup, because you will always be someone who pours out water to all these other people. And it's really important today to take a lot of that in. And to understand as well that your own kindness can affect yourself and your destiny in the same way that you've set a lot of other people's destinies in these beautiful paths, and that you've changed people's lives for the better without even necessarily totally trying to as a mission. You just did it naturally. And it feels like that's something that you get to do for yourself right now, and that you should do for yourself, because it's going to be this huge opportunity for you to feel this expansion, like that all the ripples were going outwards. Like it was very like, it felt like the version of you that you are right now is about to be a completely different version, even though you have the same sort of moral code, you have the same sort of internal drive and the same goals that you're heading towards, but it feels like so much more expanded just from setting this into motion for yourself.
So I got a very, it seems conflicting and chaotic, but I'm going through something kind of similar. So Mahala, is your sun a different element than your moon? Like, is your sun in the positive and your moon in the negative and vice versa? Or I could be wrong. They could be like the same polarity, but the energy I feel for you is like you have a different philosophy on how you want your energy to impact others than your spirit guides or aspects of your energy. And I feel like bridging your ancestry, a lot of your which now makes sense. I'm picking up right now. This is why you specifically are here. This is why you have incarnated, because you're bridging in the ancient customs of your ancestry with the present current, modern, you know nature, and blending both. But like, I get that you're not, that your spirit guides are savage, but like they're not with the bullshit. So like they're going to like intimidate people with like who may even unconsciously leak out negative vibes towards you, or more specifically, like I didn't get that they really just intimidate, but like you reveal, there we go, that's it, you reveal an individual shadow or demons around them, and I hate to say demons, but like negative impurities or imprints, in a way that could be very scary for people. So that makes me feel you have like some strong Pluto and Scorpio energy. But like I feel like you're at odds because you may not be fully aware of this dynamic, but you like a more peaceful approach. You're not with the BS too, but you like to intimately connect with people, and you can't if they're super scared of your psychic powers. And this might cause you to kind of like shrink back and not really inhibit yourself, just so you don't have any kind of moments that are kind of like freaky to people. And I'm just picking up that you're learning to bridge and balance, letting so I'm picking up that you channel your ancestral energy through your soul, and that it can kind of like express through you as a vessel. You may not always be conscious of it. So like, once again, like, you can just say something to someone in a way that freaks them the hell out, because it lets them know that the whatever they were thinking for 30 minutes, you just summed it up in like 2-3 words. And you might not even know why you said that. You might not even be conscious that you say it. It just kind of comes through you. And but I think that you're feeling that you want to reel in that effect, so that it's just not as like so the message really is actually to the reason why I feel like I can relate is, if it feels uncomfortable, or if it feels like you're doing, actually you want to actually let that happen. You want to let your ancestors kind of go with that tactic, because it doesn't come with like the polish that you have, being from this era, but it kind of directly affects people in a way that's like they see what they're dealing with. But it's hard for me to put into words. The message I want to say is, you can trust that part of your soul that may not be the most controllable or feel controllable, and even if it comes off like a little freaky, it's gonna it's ultimately going to hit right, I'll say. I wish I could say that in better words, but that's what
makes sense. Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah. All right, Mahala, let me go ahead and do a quick scan. All right, so Mike, what Mike was trying to say, and this is because it's manifesting in your physical body itself as well. It's like your lower half of your body is physically feeling the effects of this transformation that you're doing for other people. You absorb a lot of energy, a lot of the negative energy that people might be carrying, a lot of emotional energy. And because of that, it is then kind of stored in your lower body. So you have issues with your hips, you have issues with your legs and your feet, you feel immovable. And that's because you are in a sense physically feeling the immobility of other people and how they feel about their lives, how they feel that there is nothing more beyond what they have, like a sense of hopelessness. And because of that, you as a healer, you are storing that in your physical body. So it's really important for you as a healer to release it and to try to, because you're basically like the light in the darkness for these people. And so to try to assist people through the words that you say, through communication, through having them feel hope, not necessarily hope in you, but hope in themselves. So it's kind of like relation to, hey, look, you shouldn't lose hope because there's a better day coming tomorrow, things like that. So it might be like a really Pollyanna type of energy, but it's truthfully useful for these people who are surrounding you in your community, especially. What I'm feeling again is as soon as you mobilize this fact within them, meaning that they can go within and transform themselves for the better, then that's when your physical body will try to get a little bit of more relief because of it, because you are definitely attached to these people in a sense of like beyond community, beyond the physical world. It's more like your soul tribe. That's what it is. And you're like leading them. You're like, they're showing kind of like you in the middle and these people surrounding you and just being attached to your energy because they haven't learned yet that they do have the same energy as you. That's very transformative, very powerful, that they can definitely change their circumstances, but they look at you for hope, and for guidance. So it's kind of like your tribe looking at their chief for guidance and for assistance and for leadership. Okay, so that's what I got for you, Mahala.
So that is awesome. And now we have Zach and Leah. So for Zach and Leah are both channeled messages. So why don't we start with Zach and see, Michael, what do you pick up first?
Channeled message for Zach. Okay. So I pick up that oh, wow. Okay. I pick up that, like, that's so interesting. Okay. It's also, this might be tied between this could be a unique attribute of your Saturn group or your North Node group. But like, I literally see the vision of you. You went into an alternate timeline that's literally like this it's not too deviant from your main timeline or the main timeline, and it's not even so much that you stepped in another dimension, but like you have been working with an archetype of different types of friends. We can maybe even say since 2015 or 2014, or just different type of people who you may not have been used to, or just totally different type of people. And now I think it's tied very much so to this North Node in Gemini. And now it's like you're done. It should almost feel like a huge filler arc, and you're about to come back to the main timeline. You're about to connect with people you haven't connected since 2014, or you're about to connect with people in ways that you haven't connected to them in a long time. And because you've learned that alternate timeline lesson, it almost like reconfigured it forced you to be put in relationship constructs that the regular people you hung out never brought out of you. And so now that this has been brought out of you, you're bringing that to the main like timeline of people you're meant to connect with. But I also pick up that in general, like you're just getting prepared to connect with a whole different type of like demographic and group of people. And it's like taking the last 5 years of growth to apply to that. And you're gonna feel maybe now it's coming clear, The context is maybe you're a stage performer, and this is about to be like your new fan base. And I felt that because you just feel very celebrated, and they really love you, kind of like a rock star would be to their cult like following. It's pretty awesome.
That's really awesome. Yeah, I got a similar energy. To me, it was like, you know, some people have mood swings, but it almost feels like you're having like mind swings right now. It feels like there's part of you that's having trouble like predicting yourself and understanding like what you're going to think next. And it's like normally you've been methodical, like in many different times in your life, but now something's happening to you. There's this internal shift and you're becoming more chaotic. And it's like, so suddenly you're speaking in a different way, or you're like, you're using a different way of solving problems. Like instead of being on offense, you're on full defense, or, you know, it's like instead of moving through problems really fast, you're just like slowing everything down intentionally. It's as if you're like this duality where you're like doing everything opposite from the way normal, but it's almost unpredictable in a way. So it feels like it's very powerful, and it's hard for you to gauge maybe like what's causing this, what does this mean, like to what degree is this sustainable. But it feels like the best thing for you to do right now is to move with this chaos. Like, let this keep showing you all these different ways of looking at the world, because it feels like it's a form of enlightenment. Even though it feels like so strange and chaotic, it feels like it's a form of enlightenment through looking from all perspectives, like seeing through so many different perspectives just through action, because you're definitely like an action taker. So yeah, it feels really strong right now.
All right, Zach. So it's channeled information, right?
Yep, channel message.
All right, what I'm feeling and seeing is kind of the right side of your body, which is the masculine side, and kind of honing in on the potential that the masculine has to project its will out there in the manifestation realm, where the feminine is the one that creates, but the masculine is the one that supports and projects this will. And so for me, it feels like you're definitely stepping into more of your masculine energy, where you're taking more action in the direction that you want, and you're finally kind of like made up your mind. They're also showing kind of like a bridge between yourself and other people. Like you are creating bridges instead of burning them. Like you're just like, let's build a bridge of friendship, you know. And it's gonna definitely benefit you, because you're gonna be like Mike kind of said, that you're going to be talking to different types of people that you probably never ever met before, and have this association with them where you both benefit from the relationship, because you're both learning from one another as well as assisting one another with different projects. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of collaboration that you're going to step into with a lot of like-minded individuals, but they're going to have a different way of doing things than you, and you're going to learn from them as well and teach them. So it's like a good balanced relationship. I keep hearing bridger of worlds as well. So this is something that is an important thing, because thinking of you as a multidimensional person or aspect, we all come here for a certain reason, right? For a certain purpose, but we serve this purpose through our interactions with other souls, who in turn are multidimensional as well. And so for you in particular, you are the bridger of the worlds, meaning that you bridge communication, relationships, establish friendships through different people creating their own different world. Okay, so it's just a very beautiful interaction that you're here to create, bringing back the oneness of creator into this 3D reality. Okay, so that's what I have for you.
Sweet.
And next we have Leah. Leah also got a channeled message. I think Ari should go first in this one.
Leah. Okay, let's see. Is she here or no? I don't know. We'll just do it. Just calling her higher self. Let's see.
Right.
So what I saw, and this is just your higher self, she was wearing kind of like a really light blue energy about her. And when she moved, she kind of moved her hand like this, and she said transformation. It's a very liquidy energy, very water type of energy. What you are doing for a lot of people and for yourself is assisting with emotional transformation. It's like understanding that everyone's perceptions are unique to their own through the different myriads of experiences that they've had, and acceptance is important of emotional triggers as well as every type of emotion. For you in particular, you're much more comfortable with that, with expression in the sense of like you expressing yourself and your emotions and what you think, and so it kind of helps other people get comfortable with their own self-expression and their own perception, and believing that everything that they've experienced is actually relative to them. Okay. I feel like you're going to be teaching people that, like, even though someone had the same experience as someone else, their interactions or the way that they perceive that experience is unique to the soul. So it could be like you as a child having a relationship with your mother, and then if you have a sibling, they have a different relationship with their mother, but you both experience the same type of like interaction, and you both felt differently about it, you know what I mean? And so that's okay. There is a lot of people who believe like, oh, everyone has to be the same. Everyone has to agree with the experience. Everyone has to agree that the experience was this way only. And you are unique in the way that you are teaching people, no, it's not that way at all. Everyone, based on their filter, based on their own soul's need, will experience things differently. They will either be more open to transformation or not, and so to me it feels like you're definitely one of those people who will speak up for everyone having a different type of interaction, and it's not necessary for everyone to be the same. It's beautiful and unique experiences that will teach us all to be more open to that, and to understand what it means to be unified in a diverse way. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Leah.
Leo, what I got for you is quite profound, actually. So it's speaking primarily about, and so this, you're not limited to this, and this doesn't have to be the case, but this energy is kind of like having Saturn on your sun or moon, or the North Node on your sun or moon, and it's like you're quickly coming into the consequence of having the karmic power you have. And I think one facet of you might be intimidated by your own self, because you realize how, like, with just the way you feel or think, like, you can alter people's fates or how they see themselves or think of themselves. And this period over the next 2 months to 2 years is fully having you establish this authority. And if there's any block, it's just a part of yourself that may either feel you're not worthy of the power, or like it's just too intense. I don't think you feel unworthy, but I think sometimes it can feel so intense because you can feel certain dynamics that are just kind of like too in depth to that involve other people, and it's like, wow, like I have way too much control over or influence over like the goings on. So this is going to segue. You're not going to always feel like intimidated about it, or unsure. You're in 2 years from now, you're going to be a pro, because you're being set up to walk this path where, like, let's say someone is about to take action that can alter the time stream significantly. kind of like Doctor Strange behind the scenes. You can just alter that fate as if it never happened. And it's like being an unsung hero. Not all heroes wear capes, but it's very priestly, like high priestessy. And yeah, I'm complete.
Okay, so Michael, you just tripped me out so much with you having ended that with the high priestess energy, because I was literally going to say I did this daily video for High Vibe today where I did the daily tarot for spiritual gifts, and for the air signs I drew the high priestess. What I was about to say is basically there's this concept from the high priestess. There's this value of the known knowledge, the things that's created by man and the frameworks created, by the human intelligence, and there's the unknown knowledge. There's this like occult knowledge. There's this connection there. For you, it feels like it's so important that you don't just value the knowledge that you have because you're knowledgeable and you learn really fast, but also the things that are inherent, like, sort of trapped within the back of your mind, things that even were starting in childhood, memories of the use of your psychic gift, the psychic connection that you have, the way that you connect with the world around you, which of course you have like a strong connection to animals. You have this strong, it feels like a strong mediumship connection as well. And so this would be really important for you to let yourself explore this high priestess energy just naturally. It's not a book that is in the way of your next breakthrough. It's just letting yourself experience and explore and speak what it is deep down. Because deep down, your intuition knows exactly what it prophesies and exactly how it feels about other people and situations. And so now's the time to let yourself know that. And it feels like there's just a powerful breakthrough that's literally all within you. It's ready to go. And all you have to do is just let yourself speak. Yeah.
So not try and control it, but just let it
at all. Yeah. Because you already possess it. There's nothing to, control or corral or build or anything like that. It's just release it. Release the animals, into the wild. That's what it feels like.
Nice.
So, yeah. So thanks everybody for joining us today. Monica, you got a reading for next time. So we're going to be live again on Sunday on the Peace Dealer channel.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So we'll be live at the Peace Dealer. Make sure to search it on YouTube. Also, you can find him on Instagram. And then of course, make sure to go to Starry Ari Toltec Shaman's YouTube, as well as her Instagram, and just like all of our pictures, share all of our pictures, comment about how hot we look. If you guys could do that, it would be really appreciated. That's what we kind of aim for here with the Divine Trine. Is we really want to be just worship. No, I'm just joking. But I mean, if you do that, we're not going to be mad. But we're not literally asking you to do that. But you can.
But if you want to,
It's my birthday in a few months. So, anyways, see you later, guys. Love you guys. We'll see you on Sunday.